Hey guys, it's Cynthia, and today I want to talk to you about something that I'm super passionate about, and I hope that if you've never heard about this topic, that this video will help inform you about it, and that everyone can get some helpful tips out of this, and hopefully that you guys will incorporate this into your own lifestyle, because that would just make my day. So I want to talk to you guys about sustainable fashion consumption, and let me just give you a backstory. So I've been cleaning my closet recently and intensely purging it, and I just realized, thinking back, how unsustainable my consumption patterns were and how unhealthy my shopping habits were. So way back when, which was maybe a few years ago to a few months ago, how I shopped was every time something wasn't going right, or there was, things with family or friends, or I was just, bored, I would go out and I would just go shopping casually, and I just didn't shop for the right reasons. I would basically be shopping for happiness, and I would go out, I would, buy a couple of things that I maybe liked, and I would come home and I'd be happy because I had these new things in my life. And after a few weeks I would get bored of them, so I'd go out and I would buy new things that would make me happy again, and this just continued on for quite a while, and it just got to a point where I would wake up in the morning, stare at my closet, and just be so stressed out because there was just things everywhere, my closet was all over the place, and because of the amount of clothing that I had, my style was just clouded by this huge, pile of clothing. And because I wasn't shopping for the right reasons, I didn't even like some of the pieces, and some of the pieces didn't even fit me the way I want them to fit me, and they were just, stressing me out too much. So it got to a point where I had to sit myself down and think, what can I do to change this? Because one, it was definitely not good for my wallet because I was just spending ridiculously. Two, this was a major stressor in my life because I would wake up every morning, and how I dress is also really important to me because it's the way I express myself and it's part of my identity, and not being able to satisfy the visions I have of possible outfits because my wardrobe was just so all over the place, and because I didn't have the items or the core wardrobe that I needed, it was just too stressful for me. And number three, this was definitely not good for the environment because what I was doing was I was supporting these fast fashion stores and chains which had these really quick turnover rates, and they were basically just churning out new clothing pieces that were relatively cheap every single day or every single week. And what I was doing was I was being one of those consumers who would go and buy these things. Enough about my backstory and how I got to, right now, right here, and making this video for you guys. But why should you care about sustainable fashion consumption, and what can you do to incorporate it into your own lifestyle? First of all, our environment and our actions being sustainable are a huge factor that we should be thinking about these days, and I've noticed over the past few years this huge fast fashion trend. What fast fashion is it's this huge trend where these key players like Zara, H&M, and Forever 21 have really quick turnover rates, so they're churning out these trendy clothing items every single day or every single week, and these items are really cheap and affordable, but they're not good quality, and they're also outsourced, so they're made in Bangladesh or China, where the regulations for the safety of the factories and everything aren't looked after properly as well. So the ethics also come into play, but that's a whole different story. Basically, these days, consumers, especially teens to mid-20s, are buying these affordable items, and they buy them a lot more as well since they're so affordable, and because new things come out so often that these consumers are led to, they're obviously attracted to this because they can get so many new items these days, and it's also just become a trend. So this whole cycle of the fast fashion companies making things and the consumers buying them every single week or every single few weeks, it's not sustainable at all, because we have to realize that these items are cheap, they're trendy, and after a few wears or after they, get out of style, what are we going to do with them? As consumers, we're just going to have piles and piles of cheap clothing that we're not going to want anymore. So where do they go? They'll go to the thrift store, I hope, or they're going to go to the landfill. Did you know that I think 3% of American garbage is textiles and clothing? That's a huge amount, and that's a percentage that we can definitely reduce if we change the way we shop. The second reason you should care about sustainable fashion consumption is the money you're spending. I think a lot of us as consumers haven't really realized how much money we're actually spending on clothing and the consequences of our shopping habits and our consumption patterns, because I know that if I didn't have previous interest in this and gone to do the research myself, I wouldn't know about all these things, and there just isn't as much media coverage and exposure to this that I think we need. So money is definitely an important factor in this, because I think if we start to change our shopping habits and our consumption patterns, we'll definitely be saving money. And that leads me to my next point about how you can incorporate sustainable fashion consumption into your own lifestyle and what changes you can make. The big thing is a capsule wardrobe. I'm definitely going to be making a separate video on how to make a capsule wardrobe, or how to build a capsule wardrobe, because it's something that I'm super passionate about as well, and I think it's such an elaborate topic that it does require a separate video. So what a capsule wardrobe is it's a wardrobe that is very specific and personalized to the individual, and because of this, the wardrobe is made out of a certain number of pieces that the individual really loves, and because they love these pieces, they're not going to go out of style. A capsule wardrobe for me also involves giving yourself a budget, because that will ensure that you're actually thinking about the pieces that you're buying instead of just impulsively picking up anything that you're kind of interested in, because you'll then know that, oh, I'm spending this much of my budget on this item, so I definitely have to love it, and it definitely has to fit me well and be worth my while. But like I said before, these will all be tips that I'll be sharing in my capsule wardrobe video, so be sure to give this video a thumbs up, so I will get that out to you as soon as possible, because I'm so excited to share that with you as well. And yeah, so a capsule wardrobe is definitely one of the ways that you can incorporate sustainable fashion consumption into your own lifestyle. Focusing on building a capsule wardrobe really changes the way you look at shopping and changes the way that you do shop. I'm not saying that you have to only buy things that are locally produced or ethically made, because I've looked into that, and one, not only is it really expensive, but the things that are made ethically and produced locally are usually not really stylish in my eyes, or they don't align with my own personal style. So I understand that that is something that, you know, might not be attainable now, but in the future it definitely could be something that would be improved. But for what we can do right now is, you know, you can still go to stores like H&M and Zara. I think that they are amazing stores, and you can definitely find staple and core pieces at those stores, but just be more mindful of what you're buying and just make sure that you really love them and that they're worth your money. That's it for today. That's all I have to talk about for this topic. If you guys have any comments on this or anything you'd like to ask or add to this video, please leave it in the comment section down below, because I'd love to discuss this topic with you guys. It's something that I'm so passionate about. If you guys haven't been able to tell already, look out for the capsule wardrobe video as well. I do hope you guys got some helpful tips out of this, and I do hope that it sparked interest in this topic, and that you guys go out and, you know, Google a bit more about it and learn more about it, because it's something that really is heartfelt to me and it's truly something I care about. And that's it. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!